So I don't need to explain what Sonic Project 06 is at this point. I think we should all know what Sonic Project 06 is, and that also you should know that this is one of my favorite Sonic games of all time. No, scratch that. It is one of my favorite games of all time. Literally no competition in my opinion. A polished game with great controls, great levels, great characters, and just like very fun, very like so much replayability. It's just a good game. A game that I can just keep coming back and just having fun, finding new ways to just beat my records every single time, trying to learn new tricks from speedrunners and everything. It's just a fun game. But what is going on with this video now? So obviously, if you've seen Chaos X's like Twitter account and everything and his progress on Sonic P-06, you should know that by this point he has confirmed that there is no levels of story mode. There's no like there's no story mode, there's no hub worlds, there's no like story, like nothing. There's just not gonna be anything based on Retail 06. There's nothing gonna be based on story.
That was just a bunch of cheap walk cycles.
Yep, that really sucks, but to be fairly honest, he had his reasons. Obviously, importantly, that he kind of hated those hub worlds. If I remember correctly, there was already a tweet that he mentioned that how much he hated the forest hub world, and I'll explain that in this video. So this video is going to be for anybody who wants to attempt to make a Project 06 story mode mod. I already did a short of this a long time ago actually, where I explained that the best way to do it is by using one of Chaos X's idea, which obviously was the arcade mode. I said that, but also it presented one issue: no hub worlds. So how exactly are we gonna have hub worlds with that idea? We just don't. We just really don't. But this video is not going to be just me explaining why the hub worlds suck or anything. I'm just here to give a blueprint of ideas on how to make a proper Sonic story mode mod with hub worlds, story, and all. But not only that, but to also add ideas that Chaos X might never add in P-06. So this video is going to be like a full concept, blueprint, like anything you want to call it. A whole list of ideas for anybody who wants to make a mod for Project 06, adding the story and many other things going forward. Okay, let's get this one thing out of the way. How exactly are we gonna make a P-06 story mode mod? Obviously through unlocking the one side of P-06 that Chaos refuses to open, which is obviously the story. Obviously, for obvious reason, he has confirmed that he's not doing it, as I said already before. But obviously, the first thing you have to do is obviously open that part and just start from scratch there. So with that, let's just see how the whole thing is gonna be structured. So I would say the best way to still like maintain the appeal of this game is to just keep it the same structure as it is in the Retail 06, where you have 4 campaigns and actually 3 campaigns and a final one, where you have to play first as Sonic, to then play as Silver, and then Shadow. I think that's just like how it's supposed to be structured, because it's similar to Sonic Adventure 1. Now, how about like exactly like hub worlds and all? Well, I think I have to go back to that one in a little bit. So let's get this one thing out of the way. I think the hub worlds of 06 kind of suck. Like, I'm not here to lie or say like, oh my god, you people defending these hub worlds are just so crazy and just lunatics. No, if you people like the hub worlds of Sonic 06, cool, fine by me. But I have my own personal issues with each one of them. First and foremost, they're just way too big. Like, no, I'm not even kidding. They are way too big. Forest is easily one of the worst hub worlds in Sonic 06 because of how big it is, but also because how badly the characters played in that game. And let me give you a little secret. Even with all of that, do you think that with the new versions of the characters in P-06, is that gonna fix everything? Nope. And do I have proof? Absolutely. Take a look at this one mod that was actually featured before it was taken down. It was a Sonic Project 06 mod that was supposed to add the new City Hub world as a stage. This was created by Hedgehog, actually, if I said that correctly, which he sadly take it down because it was against Chaos X's rules. Yeah, obviously I had to mention this, that people who wants to try this out have to wait for Chaos to finish the game in order to do it, because he has a rule that you cannot do that when he's still developing the game. Yeah, that's pretty sad, but I mean, it's fair. So, of course, this mod, I still have it, of course, and I'll show footage right now to showcase what I mean. Even with Sonic having like the best version of himself, like history, with good spin dash, the gems being so good, it does not change the issues with these hub worlds. They're way too big, easy to get lost, and you have nothing to do in each one. And that's the thing too, you have nothing to do in these hub worlds, and that sucks so bad. So how are we able to fix these issues? Well, one is to obviously reanimate these hub worlds, except for Forest. Forest has to freaking go. It has to be made from absolute scratch. I think Forest has to be changed a lot. And don't think that other hub worlds are not gonna get the same treatment. I think in Soliana Castle, Aquatic Base should be moved to Forest, right close to Kingdom Valley, because it would make sense for the lore. So for those who don't know, when Shadow and Silver go to the past, and when they seal the enemies they were dealing with, Iblis and Mephiles, they left the Aquatic Base, which, if you take a look at the cutscene, it was the same place as Kingdom Valley. So why exactly Aquatic Base now is in Soliana Castle? I get maybe because it's a secret hideout and everything, but Aquatic Base is already been confirmed that it is close to Kingdom Valley. So why? The one change that I would do is to remove some parts of Soliana Castle and remove Aquatic Base and move it to Forest. And Forest has to be like completely done from scratch, because Forest is just like that bad. It should just like be done from absolute scratch to like make it fun and also make it look more beautiful as a forest. City can stay the same, to be fairly honest. The only thing I would change is to just like, I don't know, add cars, add more people to it, like anything, man. Like it's like something else, man. Because City has nothing going for in the story, nor like exploring the whole city. Like, you have nothing to do there except to look for the silver medals, which, what did you get out of those? Nothing, to be honest. But yeah, that's just one of the first blueprints I can ever give to you all people. It's just like the two hub worlds, Soliana Castle and City, they can stay the same. You can just tweak a little bit, remove some things that are unnecessary from the two hub worlds, and you're cool. But for Forest has to go. Forest has to go and be rebuilt from scratch, because the one from the final product, it's not good. It's just not good. And even I hate that hub world so much already. If Chaos hated it because of Egg Genesis, oh boy, do I have some gripe with that hub world. But yeah, I think that's actually it for like hub worlds, like how to make them and everything. And you may be asking, isn't that like the most important part of this whole video, the hub worlds? Yes, but there's more to it, and I actually want to present more ideas. So okay, so we arrived at a part where I like to call exclusive power-ups for hub worlds. This is a thing that I think it was inspired mostly by Silver in the Silver release, where he got most of his power-ups by exploring the stages. You should know that most of Silver's upgrades are found in Dusty Desert and an Aquatic Base. Also in Flame Core, but that's if you get all the S ranks. So what is the inspiration? Well, I say the best thing to do for hub worlds, because there's one element that I think hurts this whole idea to begin with, is to add exclusive power-ups some of these characters for the hub world to get them more advantage on exploring these hub worlds. So, like for example, Sonic here is fast and everything, but what if you can buy something from the shop or find a upgrade that allows him to actually maybe go faster or jump higher, or I don't know, anything that could actually work for just like exclusively the hub worlds. Not to obviously make them broken, because that would just be way too much, but you may get the idea. But the reason why I'm presenting this is because there's one issue: the gems, and also some of the upgrades that all the characters can do. So I think it's pretty cool that you may like had to buy the power-ups back in the Retail 06 to make the characters better, but unfortunately it's Retail 06, so the gameplay is not fun, and it's just like, why would you buy these if they're not gonna get better anytime soon? I mean, Silver is the one that gets a little bit better, but anyone else is just like pointless. So obviously my first suggestion is to never remove the power-ups from Sonic, Shadow, and everyone else. I think they're fine on their own. But oh god, how to explain this? I think what someone should do is that to include like own exclusive power-ups for every single character. Like maybe Shadow having a faster top speed as well as Silver. Maybe Sonic having a more power-up jump or something like that. And all the characters, like maybe Tails having a longer flight when flying through the hub worlds with him, or anything else. Oh no, so I forgot to mention this one thing about the hub worlds, is that obviously I want to talk about the UI and the player guide, but I think that can be left for its own thing. So yeah, exclusive power-ups. And not only that, but what about exclusive like content and everything? Like maybe, for example, an art gallery or an achievement gallery and everything. Okay, I had to put those in a different way, but think about it. What if instead of just going through the shop to buy power-ups and everything, well, yes, that will still be a thing. How about buying also some like art or music from 06, like say blueprints of like how 06's concept when it was built, and so many other things, like how Sonic X Shadow Generations did it with, when you play that game, obviously in Shadow Generations you collect a lot of stuff, and one of the stuff you collect is obviously music, art, and some like story, like some storytelling of Shadow's origins and everything. I think that should be here in 06 as well, in P-06 as well, as like a reward for players to not only manage to buy some of them, but also find them in the hub worlds. That would allow players to go and explore each hub world in order to get these like rewards and everything to 100% the game. And also like a nice way to just like homage to Sonic 06's like development team and everything. I think that overall is like a better idea than just like removing the power-ups and just leaving them as just like to buy them on the shop, because it's just kind of pointless in my opinion. I think the characters are just so good already. Removing their power-ups just really doesn't really change anything, because Sonic has the spin dash, Silver has the energy ball attack, and Shadow has his spin dash and his combat. Like what else did they need? God. But yeah, that's basically it. Like for obviously what I mean is, by if you want to like get like extra stuff for hub worlds, you should just like hide like collectibles in hub world, and there should be many of them. I think there should be like way too many stuff from Sonic 06, like maybe textures of the buildings and everything, maybe the concept art for Silver, because that was obviously Silver's debut game, and even upgrading the characters for only exclusively for the hub worlds to make them traverse through the whole thing much easier. That would be it. Actually, that alone just helps a lot to make 06 feel like a game that you want to come back and just 100% it, while also not discouraging players to like just play the game normally and that's it. If someone wants to come back and just replay it and everything, that's good. And also to collect everything. I personally did that for Shadow Generations, and I had so much fun with it. Even though some of the challenges in that game were just absolute BS. But anyway, on to the next thing. Alright, and we're here with the achievement gallery. So, what exactly do I mean by achievements and everything? Well, obviously, if you play Sonic 06 on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, you should know that there's achievements you can do in order to get the 100% achievement, which is of course called Knights of Chronos. The same name that P-06 has in his window name, which obviously is supposed to be homage to that achievement. But what about turning it into an actual achievement gallery where, depending on which mission you want to do, you go and do it. This is also for players who just want to 100% the game like fully. And this one is just like easy to do. It's just add a category from the hardest one to get, from the easiest to get. Like for example, like the easiest to get is obviously like beating the story, beating the stages, maybe getting them with S ranks and everything. Like super easy. Medium, like saying collecting things, just beating some stage under a timer, and that's really it for achievements. Like it's not like nothing special. Sorry, it's not nothing special, but it's just like extra fun you can have. And the reason why I'm saying this is because it's inspired by Spider-Man 2 from PS5. That game is one of the first ever games that I got the platinum trophy, actually from my brother. And man, how fun that was. It was really fun to just play the game and just do each achievement, and it was fun to do. And so I want to see that something similar to 06, but the way it was structured as well, and also adding some challenges to allow some players who are hardcore gamers just to like try to their absolute best to get their 100% achievements. And when they get it, it's just like absolutely rewarding. Even though it's like not much, you just get a title, but that's more than enough. I know it's not much because it's like, I mean, it's an achievement. Who else is gonna do it? But to be fairly honest, there's some people who want it. I personally want one. Leave in the comments if you actually want one. I actually do. But anyway, that's it for the achievement side. Yeah, this one was a lot shorter, but that's because there's not much for the achievement thing. I already did a short about it, which got no comments from anybody, actually. But tell me your thoughts on it. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think the idea is good? Or do you think it should be scrapped as well? Okay, so I did already mention this back in the power-ups exclusive for Hub Worlds, but I had to address what I actually meant by this. So obviously I said that it was meant to like resembles like Shadow Generations, like whole collecting art books and everything. And the reason why is because obviously you want to keep a history for a game like this, which is a full-on remake. So for a remake, it also should have to tell the story of the original game a little bit. I know that's not really important and then many games don't really need it, but honestly, it'll be really interesting as well for new players who just don't know what Sonic 06 really is or why it failed so badly. In fact, when I first heard of 06, I actually just liked the game in general. I did not know about the bugs, I did not know about anything until I saw how bad it was growing up. I started hating 06 until I just like saw Jay's reviews video. It made me think twice about hating 06 and just made me think, huh, 06 has nice concepts, just like poorly implemented because it was rushed. So, of course, there's gonna be people who want to know the story of like how it came to be, who thought of the idea, what were they doing during development and everything. I know there's videos like crazy talking about the development of 06, but to be fairly honest, when it comes to being a game telling the story as well, it's just kind of cool as well. It also makes it feel like you achieved something, like you gather more puzzles to the story. That's cool. And so also the artwork and everything is just like to maybe say showcase prototype versions of Silver, showcase how the characters were supposed to look like, which apparently in the original were supposed to be looking more realistic. I'm glad they did not, actually. That was kind of a atrocious idea. That was not a good idea at all. But yeah, there's just so much artwork and everything, unused concepts from Sonic and everything from the game. Like, bro, you can add that to a whole gallery. From the achievement, from getting getting an achievement unlocks you like one artwork, or just collecting a like token or something that allows you to get the whole thing. Like, that would be cool for players, and also of course incentivize players to explore the hub worlds to find this thing. I know it's not much, but it's just like one little idea that allows players to just stick around to play the game and just like find every single secret. And for anyone who's curious about the story of Sonic 06, they can just like explore the whole game trying to find each puzzle. And I think finding the whole true and everything just makes it a little bit rewarding, even though it comes at a cost of the fact that the game was just like rushed. That was it. Like, the game was rushed and it became one of the worst games of all time. Okay, so here's one that I had never mentioned before, and it is customizing characters. So I bring up this idea a long time ago, but it was only meant for Chaos. But since Chaos is not planning to do anything else, just adding the DLCs, the bosses, the end of the world, and some other features, so yeah, this idea is just like not gonna reach him anytime soon. But let me bring this one back. Let me bring this one again, because I have some like discussions I want to bring to some people who told me that such thing was impossible. First of all, let's get this thing out of the way. Nothing is impossible at this point with Sonic fan games and everything. Like, bro, nothing is impossible. I mean, bro, we got a like no connect patch for Sonic Free Riders, and that's straight up one of the worst games of all time. Worse than Sonic 06. Let me get this out of the way. And we got a connect patch, like a no connect patch for that game as a mod, and the game is actually a little bit more fun to play. So people saying that such things are impossible for Sonic, I mean, the only thing impossible is to make Sonic Boom better, but that's just like something out of our hands. So what is this idea of customizing? So I want to only limit this to Sonic, Shadow, and Silver. Only those three characters, since you're gonna play them as the most. So the idea of this is just make it similar to so many other games that have done it. Like, for example, this fan game I actually just did a video recently, which was Sonic World DX, which had customization options to add like Sonic the Soap Shoes from SA1, SA2. Give Shadows just like some new outfits, Silver as well. He actually wore Knight's outfit, which was actually pretty cool. And that's the idea. But the difference in this one is that I wanted to take that concept, but also use the Sonic Colors Ultimate concept, which is just it affects like many parts of the body. Like, for example, like Sonic just being affected by the gloves and the legs. That's it. Shadow maybe the same. And Silver as well. Like, not many options on that part. Maybe even adding like some things from future Sonic games. Like give Sonic his Boom outfit. Give Shadow as well his Boom outfit, and Silver maybe wearing something else that he may have worn before. That's really it. And for people telling me that such thing is impossible because it would break the models, I understand that, but it also contradicts with the fact that Sonic and every other character have upgrades that are visible to see. Sonic wears bracelets and everything in Retail 06 to showcase the power-ups he got. So explain to me how that is possible, but not the idea of customizing, like maybe give Sonic the bracelets from SA2 or the soap shoes from SA2. Like, explain to me how that is impossible. If such things bracelets could exist, why those ideas cannot? Maybe you could just take the blueprint ideas from that and just like change it, but still be the exact same thing. Like imagine if someone makes a mod where those bracelets are not like the bracelet, and they're replaced by Sonic's like bracelets from SA2. They will still be the same bracelets from P-06, but the difference is that they look more like the ones from Sonic Adventure 2. That's it. Shadow, I want him to also get some customizations from SA2 as well, and Silver to get some of his like ideas from his concept design, from the many variation he has from himself, like maybe changing the fur to the one he had before it was changed to the one we know, and so many other stuff. Like I will only put them exclusively for these 3 characters because again, you'll play the 3 of them the most, so that's why. But a customization option is not that bad, and the best way also is that you can add this idea to also the hub worlds, well, mostly in the town shop, that you can buy these customization in the town shop. Maybe they can make them that they're expensive and you actually have to play the stages so many times in order to get these rewards, but it will be worth it because you'll be able to customize the character, and that's really it. And I also want to bring that thing up about the idea of such thing is impossible because it will break the models. I understand, but explain to me then how the other stuff that Sonic and the other characters have is possible while those ideas are not. If some of you people like can explain to me exactly why they're not so similar, you can let me know in the comments. I'm not gonna rage at any of you, I promise you. I don't plan to rage on nobody for having a different opinion. It's just that just like telling me something that is impossible at this point with Sonic, and especially with Sonic fan games, I'd say that, yeah, we're not challenging Sonic fans for that. Alright, so the next thing is obviously how are the hub worlds going to be handled. So obviously in terms of physics, how the player guide will like help, or a lot of things. So if you know Sonic 06, you should know that the player guide in that game just barely exists. Like the game doesn't really tell you what to do or doesn't give you hints on what to do. You just have to just guess or just see the cutscenes in order for you to like see where you need to go. So I'm gonna bring up this one picture I actually did a while back to prepare myself for this video, where I am showcasing the idea of how a player guide should be handled in this one. Don't like ask why it looks terrible and why Sonic is so far away, even though that's not how the game will look like. It's just like I had to edit some stuff in here just to make it work. But from what can you see in this picture I did, you can see that there's some changes. Like for example, there's a mission tab, which you cannot click it because it's connected with the map as well. But let me explain how this works. So this mission tab only appears as well. Remember, this is only an idea. This map only appears when you're standing still. If you wait for at the bare minimum of like say 3 to 5 minutes, this mission tab will appear and it will tell you like a hint of where to go, or like just straight up telling you, like say, go and save Elise in aquatic base, which is another indicator to tell you, but then you will have to guess where is the stage. But that's of course when you get the mini map. The mini map is also here to help you on that front. You can see that there's also an extra button in there, which is actually the select button. What will the select button do? Well, it automatically pauses the game and it will take you to this giant map, which depending on the hub world you're in, it will show you where to go and teaches you the stages that you're in. Example, this one's showing that is forest. The same stage that has Kingdom Valley and of course Tropical Jungle. And for the sake of this video, I'm also going to include Aquatic Base, because Aquatic Base should be around close to Kingdom Valley because both stages are almost in the same place. So in the mini map, when it becomes a huge map, it will also have the mission tab as well, but just like for like telling you the mission again. But then the mini map will show, the big map will actually show you like what is the like town missions or the where to go, the like events or something like that, and where you are specifically. This is of course to help you know where to go for any players who are lost. Here's another thing as well. I also wanted like an idea that after you complete the game, you have the option on the pause menu to change characters. Like for say example, that you're tired of playing as Sonic, you know the stages and everything, but you want to explore with other characters. You go to the pause menu, you see a selection that says characters, You go to it and you see you only have 3 options: Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, because those are the only characters you're gonna play in that campaign throughout the whole thing. You don't play as the others. The other characters have that same mechanic, except it's based on their team members. Like for example, Shadow has Team Dark, which is of course Rouge and Omega, and Silver is with Amy and Blaze. With that, you'll be able to click one of those characters and automatically switch with them. Maybe a Black Fade that lasts like a bare minimum of 2 seconds, and just use your switch to Tails, and then you are able to fly around. You can even switch to Sonic back if you want to, and also a save state, because obviously this story mode needs it. But yeah, it's just like simple player guide fixing that this thing needs, and also that the whole worlds need to be redone from scratch in some of them. Like for example, Forest needs to go, like realistically. I already said that Soliana Castle, in my opinion, is not that bad. I say City still suffers problem, but I think it's because there's literally nothing to do there. I think a little bit of fixing in that stage would be more than enough, but that would be it. Also, you can see that there's also an indicator of like how close you are to the event. That is kind of similar to Sonic Frontiers, where the game will tell you like how far you're from the event you need to go. So this one is like taking place in like for Kingdom Valley mission with Sonic, where you go with Silver to save Elise, obviously failing of course if you know the story. And this is a way to tell you where to go in order for you to like beat the game easily. You can even have an option to turn that off for players who just wanted a hard mode version of this thing and not just knowing where to go. But the mission tab and minimap will still be there. This is just simple fixes for player guides and of course many other stuff, and allowing players to just like go through the story with literally no ways to get lost easily. But if players are just like, you know what, I don't need any of them, you can have the option to turn it off. And that's the thing, options is very important with this one, especially for P-06, since P-06 has a billion of options, like the jump ball, the animations and everything, even the UI. That's why options and like how you want to customize your setting and everything is very important when it comes to this type of story mode mod, because it's literally just, how do I explain this? It's way to just, oh god, I just don't know how to say it. It's just an easy way to just help players just have fun. That's it. Just like all of this, just remember, this whole thing is just for fun. All of this is just a concept for like if someone dares to even do it once P-06 is done, obviously. And of course, all of this is just for fun, obviously, because like, is someone gonna try so hard to do this? The answer is just, in my opinion, no, because why? Modding things here are free. You don't get money from it. But the fun part is that you're able to bring out the full potential of something. And that's what I think could be really useful for P-06 with this story mode mod. But yeah, this is just basically the player guides section and also the UI. As you can see, the UI is also different. But that's basically it. Okay, and here is the final thing as well, and that is the cutscenes, and more exactly, the story of Sonic 06. Let's get this thing out of the freaking way. I do not want to rewrite Sonic 06. Anybody who has attempted to rewrite Sonic 06 has always done it, in my opinion, the wrong way. Because in my opinion, when it comes to a rewrite, I understand that you have to make some changes and everything in order to make the story make sense and everything. But I think a rewrite should also maintain some of the ideas of what the story or something wants to be. Like for example, in Sonic XY Generation, well, more exactly the Sonic Generation portion, that game got a rewrite. But I mean, it didn't change anything. But that's the thing, it didn't change anything, it just changed the dialogue. It changed the dialogue, but it made no difference. And it made no difference, it was still the same story. I think that was the wrong way to do it. I mean, that was a bad example, but you get the picture. When it comes to rewrites, I want people to just rewrite stories, but to keep the same ideas. And I think Charai5, who did 2 rewrites, one for Sonic Forces and one for the Mario movie, he did a phenomenal job to keep some of the same ideas, while also bringing like new ideas to the table to make the story either more cohesive. I don't know how to say the word. Like, you get the picture, just to make it a lot better. But rewriting Sonic 06 just does not work, in my opinion, anymore, because people just tend to always remove some things that they think is bad. Like, for example, removing Elise. Or changing Elise and every single human into cartoon animals, just like Sonic and everyone else. To that I say, why? Why do you people hate the human characters so freaking much? Or more exactly, why do you think they don't serve anything? In my opinion, Elise wasn't realistically the problem, it was the idea of shipping her with Sonic, which I already made a video where someone obviously insulted me, and just like, I straight up said that the shipping between Sonic and Elise was not a good idea, especially the kiss scene. Yeah, no, that was pretty gross. That was pretty gross. At top of the law, that was a corpse she kissed. But anyway, my plans for story is not to rewrite it. Is to fix some parts of the story that, one, don't get answered, two, make no sense, and three, fix the scenes that don't need to be in there. Like, example, the kiss scene. I think that one can easily go to the bin and to never see the light of day again. I think it should be changed to maybe Elise harnessing the Emerald's powers. Sonic's dead body flow up with the Emeralds, and then he comes down as Super Sonic, and that's it. That makes it more epic than what how 06 did it. And to be fairly honest, I think the idea of romantic feelings for Sonic and Elise, it could have definitely been good if they had good chemistry and a good conflict, which sadly for the two characters they don't have. So that one has to go because there's just no way to fix that issue. What they have, but of course, okay, that almost sounds like rewriting, but that's mostly because there's nothing we can do about that part. So how is this gonna work for remastering the cutscenes and everything? In my opinion, again, is to just fix some of the issues that something had. Take for example this cutscene when Amy said, if I had to pick the world and Sonic, I would choose Sonic. That made her look like a freaking psycho. So no thank you. The thing I would do for that scene is just to remove that part. Maybe have Amy try to explain to Silver that not everything is seen what it seems, or like say, no, I would not believe it if it was true, and then leaves. That would be it. There's no they could leave that whole thing there. They could leave that thing there, and that's it. And that's it. So that's really it. And also to fix the lip sync issue, also give Sonic and the other characters like personality when it comes to their cutscenes. Like make Sonic have more like a cocky personality. Like for example, when he's talking to Knuckles before going to Watercropolis, how about showcasing Sonic cockiness by giving him a smile, like moving the emerald, like tossing it up and down and everything to showcase like he does not care. He's gonna be he knows he can win Eggman and everything. Like, show personality. That's it. Because the characters are toned down in this game, to be fairly honest. And also to add extra cutscenes. And by that I mean to just add cutscenes that allows to do a good transition to whatever you're gonna do next. This is an idea I had for Aquatic Base in Sonic's story. Again, I decided for the hub world they had to change Aquatic Base to move it to Kingdom Valley. Well, to be more exactly, to the Forest hub world, but close to Kingdom Valley. And the idea for that is that Sonic would go back to Forest, go straight to Kingdom Valley, well, skip it, and then go to Aquatic Base. The cutscene is a transition before going to Aquatic Base, where Tails and Knuckles meet up with Sonic. The way I think it should work is that Sonic would get ambushed by these robots, Tails would defend, and as well as Knuckles. Sonic will give his thumbs up, and he would give like a cocky smile to Knuckles, as well like a homage to Sonic Mania and the opening cutscene of that game. And then they nod each other, and then they just go to Aquatic Base, and that's where this level started. Like, again, it just doesn't, like, it really doesn't do anything, but it's just to set out some things. Like, one, explain when did Tails and Knuckles meet up with Sonic, but also to just showcase their dynamic. That even though Tails and Knuckles are pretty much useless for the story, they're still going to be there for Sonic either way. That would be good character. And also another thing that I would love to see is also character interactions. Like for example, where if you're Shadow, you can meet up with Sonic and Sonic would just start saying some dialogue akin to his character. Like maybe say, haha, you couldn't escape Crisis City without me, huh, Shadow? Or something like that. And with Silver, honestly, I don't know how that would work. Maybe he can talk to Amy because she's not gonna be there. She's not gonna be with him for the rest of the journey, and like say, "Oh, I see you're finally friends with Sonic. I'm glad you finally learned the truth," or something like that. That is, of course, adding personality to the story, and that's basically it for what you have to do. Change the scenes that don't need to be there, like the kiss scene, for example, and just change it to something that would make it look better, and voila, you kind of fix the story of 06. Maybe not the whole thing, but it's a nice like step in the right direction. And also the credits and everything, they also have to change that to also add maybe the people who worked on P-06, and maybe add some like songs to akin to the characters, and not to add His World so many times, because we have so many versions of His World and they only played the one version made by Crush 40. And that is going to be it for my Sonic Project 06 story mode mod concept / blueprint idea video. Yeah, I told you people that I had some ideas for this. It seems more like this is gonna be like a pseudo type of deluxe version of Sonic P-06. But to be fairly honest, the most important part of this whole thing was just to add story mode. That's it. Anything else can be left behind as like a scrap concept or anything, because the most important part of the whole thing is to add story mode. I did skip multiplayer because I have heard that Beats is actually planning to make a mod of it. But if not and I'm wrong, then just maybe add multiplayer and that's it. Just add an achievement that says beat multiplayer like one time and that's it. But yeah, that's basically it. But the reason why I did this video is because P-06 means a lot to me. Not just like as a game, but like what it meant for me in Sonic 06. Because remember, when I was just a kid, like I used to love 06. Actually, I loved the story. I really liked it. Even though I thought the cutscenes were a little bit weird, but I still loved it. And then as time goes by, I started to see more and more how bad the game was. From the glitches, from some inconsistent about the story and everything, I even started hating it. I even started just like thinking, oh my god, this game is just so bad. Like it's like this game is like Sonic Forces, maybe worse. But that's when, of course, someone named Jay's Reviews made a 2-hour video explain why he liked 06. Well, not entirely. He just likes some things about it. Of course, he sees the vision of what 06 could have been. A game that would make you just like, wow, that was a great game. But what we instead got was just a masterpiece of a disaster. That video like made me change my outlooks for Sonic 06. And when I heard that P-06 was a thing, I was like, oh my god, someone actually making a remake of 06? And it's actually good? I had to try it out. I did when the Shadow Patch came out, and I loved it. I loved every single bit of P-06 in every single way. When the Silver release came out, I screamed when I saw it. I got excited when the patch was announced, and also when I got my haircut, which I was actually pretty mad about that one. I saw that the Silver Patch came the same day I got that haircut, and I was like, oh my god, this is like my saving grace of a bad time. And it was a blast. So P-06 does mean a lot to me. It's not just a game for me, it's just like what I love most about Sonic. It's just like a fun gameplay that makes me want to come back and just keep playing until I be myself in every single way. Always coming back for something more, for more fun. That's what P-06 meant to me, and it still does. Even if we will never see a hub world or story mode from Chaos himself. But I completely understand, and plus, if he's not gonna do it, the fans will. So that's why. But anyone else who wants to try out to mod P-06, remember, you have to wait until Chaos is done. You can take this video idea and just like, of course, just like and just like take some ideas from it. Maybe you're not gonna take all of it, but if you're gonna take the whole idea and make it like a version that is more exactly Sonic P-06 Deluxe, then cool. Thanks for taking the ideas I have, because I don't own each one of them. But yeah, that's basically gonna be it for this video. This video obviously was meant to be maybe potentially my final video of me talking about ideas for 06 and everything. So obviously for the rest of the time, the only thing you're gonna see of P-06 related is just like gameplay. Nothing based on like ideas or like how to make Sonic P-06 better and all. Like, no, you're not gonna see that anymore. Maybe you'll see tier lists, maybe you'll see some other stuff as well, but nothing based on like giving people ideas to make a story mode mod for P-06. Because this is basically everything I had about it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you all liked it, and you can hit like and subscribe. Not gonna force you to, but yeah, I'm done. Like, yeah, bye.